the meeting to order. Stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so let's just do public comment on agenda items. Just note the 3-minute limit. Yes.
Yes, Brian. First I want to thank Karen Edelman Reyes and Virginia Scott for their dedication to this town and their dedication to all of us. No matter what our beliefs are, they have represented every person here in the town, and I truly appreciate that, and thank you both for your service to this town.
Thank you.
I want to make a mention about the 3-minute time limit. Excellent. However, I fully expect as a resident of this town that it's applied equally to everyone. That it's not, some persons get to speak for 8 minutes, other people are cut short at 3 minutes, so please enforce that straight across the board, no matter who the person is. As far as the agenda goes, item number 1, NEMA's temporary fire protection and municipal water backflow prevention schedule, good for NEMA. I am so excited with the direction that they are going and all the work that they have done, and they have my full support, and I look forward to the future of what goes on there. And as far as item 3, resolution request to conduct traffic study on Route 9W, my inside joke has always been I can conduct a traffic study for you on my front porch. I want to commend our police department because I can tell you the 9W section that I can see between Quaker and Laurel Avenue, whenever the police are sitting there, traffic goes according to the speed limit. The second they have to leave, the speed just ramps up. And our police department cannot be everywhere. They do the very best that they can do every second of the day for all of us. I would suggest that perhaps it's time to enlist state troopers to do some enforcement on 9W, because I think if there was speed enforcement, the safety issues would be better with the speed being what it should be instead of being like the Indy 500. But kudos to our police department for doing everything that they can do when they can do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Joanna Doyle, 118 Pembroke Drive. I was told I would be on the agenda tonight for the Sands Ring Cemetery Park, and I notice I'm not. Is that an error, or?
You know what? We can find. We can certainly hear about the presentation. I don't know that we're going to be acting on it tonight, but we can certainly hear the presentation as far as what you're looking to do with the cemetery park. So, I mean, we can do that. I'll just add you into the agenda in the work session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Yes. Yes, anybody else on agenda items? No? Okay. Next I have the approval of minutes for the November 6, 2025 work session and special meeting, the November 13th, 2025 special meeting, and the November 18th, 2025 regular meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Okay, so moving on to the NEMA unsafe building proceeding. You may recall the last time we had asked NEMA to work with their engineers to come up with essentially a plan which would allow us to sort of move away from this monthly proceeding and more to a plan that the building inspector and the town engineer and the supervisor can make sure that NEMA is following. So essentially, Colliers, they put together this plan, working with NEMA. It addresses, some of the issues that we've been dealing with. It's got specific dates and specific deliverables that they're gonna have to meet. Andrew, do you wanna just, give just a brief overview of the plan?
Sure, I can do that. Andrew Featherston, Colliers Engineering and Design. So the first part of this is the temporary fire protection, which we were using Patillo pool for. The concerns are humidity in the building, having the water there, so we're going to put a cover on it. We're going to have a pool alarm and a door alarm. And I was speaking with Gary when I got here. He thought that maybe some signage would be a good idea on the doors, saying the pool is closed or something to prevent somebody from trying to get in. And then a circulation pump. So that will, once those things are in, the pool will be chlorinated and then tested regularly, just to keep the water as clean as we can for use as fire protection water. Once the pool is filled, we're going to contact the fire department, ask them if they'd like to come out and give it a test run. I know if it's this cold, they may not want to do it. They may blow the water back into a drain, back into the stream, but we'll see how they want to do that. But we'll coordinate with them. After that, what we've done is we've given a proposal to NYMA for the backflow preventers, meters. We talked to Mike from the village water department, what he would like to see. So we had some level of coordination. We want to do a little more and get exactly what the village is looking for there. Those devices will be upsized for the future. Those will be put in quite a bit larger than what is necessary for the mains today, because the mains are undersized today. So we'll get that done, get that permitted. That's going to be that'll be time consuming, because it's got to go to quite a few agencies. It's got to go to New York State DOT, because that's Route 218 Academy Street, where we're going to make 2 connections. The 2 connections are there today, so we're just going to match what's there today. It'll have to go to the health department. The village owns the water, and then the town also will have some permitting there. We're thinking that after permitting, review, design, health department, DOT, we go through all of this, then it gets bid, built, inspected, everything. We're thinking that this thing is operational 3rd quarter of 2026. The thing that we don't have control over, of course, is the municipal service. So we want to also have a meeting in January 2026. We're thinking the town, the village, to get together to see what's the plan to get this main built, because this is all for naught without having that new upsized main. So that's our plan.
Sure. Gary, have you had a chance to, look over this? I know you and I have spoken about this.
I had a chance to review the submission. It seems very reasonable, his timeline that he's giving us. And I did give some suggestions for signage that I'm requesting as part of the project.
Sure,
So I'm very pleased with the outcome.
sure. Okay. I think in terms of, the long-term infrastructure upgrades, just, having like conversations with, I think, the way the village and the town are looking at this a little bit is that we want to know that, like, for instance, right, NEMA is embarking on a master plan, and so for us, we very much want to see, NEMA make the, planning board submission, start working on the master plan, because then we know, okay, well, they're moving forward with the master plan, so then we'll start doing more of the work on the engineering, and, that'll be a signal for the village too, and the same thing goes for the school district, they plan on, they've got projects they wanna do too, and so we wanna make sure that 2 of the biggest users of the infrastructure upgrades are really gonna be doing what they say they need before we go and start spending all this money on engineering and on, submitting grants. So I know definitely we're gonna wanna, like, early next year, again, have these discussions like you're proposing in January and February, because once we know that everyone is serious, and we see that submission for the master plan, I think it's full speed ahead on trying to find the money to do this infrastructure upgrade. I think that's how we're gonna handle it. Does other board members have questions?
The only question I have is, the public hearing is on the unsafe building proceedings, which I believe we've had discussions about that particular issue having been resolved.
Yes, we're gonna,
And so I'm wondering if it's not an appropriate time now to close that public hearing, or how we could go about that, since we've sort of moved on to the fire safety, which was not part of the unsafe building proceeding in the first place, although I think we continue to address the issues in the context of that kind of hearing. I'm wondering if procedurally it's appropriate at this point to close the public hearing, but we would continue obviously to look forward to NEMA's master plan and its implementation.
Mr. Vincent, do you have any
I
comments?
would agree with Karen
All
that
right,
it's time to close the issue before the town board and allow me to continue to work with Andrew.
Okay,
Right,
Thank
and I
you.
think we also had appointed the town's engineer to continue to work with
right.
the building department on this particular issue and to liaise with
But he's
NEMA
involved in the
colleagues,
day-to-day,
yeah.
so I would rather hear from Gary,
Yes,
what he has to say.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They're doing what we've asked them to do, and they're being, there's time constraints with the outside agencies that NEMA has to deal with.
And you're okay with the safety? I mean, I know you're talking about putting signs and everything with, well, you know,
Yeah,
people getting in, okay, yeah,
Their outline is very reasonable.
okay,
They're not procrastinating, and they're not putting it off.
okay, thank you.
so I would say this is what, just a motion to close?
Well, first you have to see if any public
Well,
wants,
Any
yes,
public-
then you can have a motion to
Yeah,
close
yeah.
and close out.
I need one from the public.
Anyone from the public want to speak on this issue? Okay.
No, okay, so then, just a
Motion to close public hearing.
Sure, all right, so then can I get a motion to close the public hearing on the NEMA unsafe building proceeding?
So moved.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes,
Great,
thank you.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so then actually,
And that was number one.
that was number one, so actually, why don't we have the presentation on the,
Stone Hollow,
no, well, I
Sands
guess we could do,
or if you want Sands Run?
yeah, why don't we do Sand Drink first?
Okay.
We should do Sand Drink first.
Okay.
And I apologize on that, honestly, that went to, you know, it came in and we've been making lots of changes on this
I
agenda.
figured it
so-
might have been a mistake.
So,
So, just for the record, you
Yeah.
put it under 18 and then they moved it up to 2.
sure,
Okay,
Is this just one copy or is that?
Oh, no.
So I'll take one. and pass it
copies
around.
for all of us, yes. Thank you for making copies.
Thank you for making room on the agenda, I really appreciate it. The first is just a rough drawing of where the stone benches will go for the Sands Ring Cemetery. The Sands family, although they are no longer in Cornwall, they are still very involved in the homestead. They have given a lot of money in trust to keep the homestead up. Part of the homestead is the cemetery, and they are very interested in us having the cemetery park. They are in touch with us. They are still very much active in keeping their homestead going. So we tried to get 3 quotes for the stone benches. At the last minute, the 3rd quote decided not to give us a quote. So we have one from Mr. Speranza, his is $3,400, and we have one from Mr. Randazzo, his is $2,800. The trustees are hoping to go, both of these men, these companies are Cornwall companies. I personally have dealt with both of them on my own property. So I know their work is good, I know they are both reliable, they are both very trustworthy. But Mr. Randazzo's quote came in for less, and he also will do the job for his quote, and Mr. Speranza said that his materials and prices could change in time. And we thought it might be better to go with Mr. Randazzo. So that is what we are hoping the town will approve. The money is there for it. The Sands family has provided the money for it. So that is our request.
So basically, there's no cost to the town whatsoever.
No,
This
no.
comes through the trust.
This comes
and you
through
draw-
the trust.
The town, and correct me if I'm wrong, the town basically administers the trust, and we would actually, we would pay for it, but then we would draw down from the trust. Is that how it works? Is it a pass-through?
It sounds like there was an additional payment, or are you just talking about the trust money?
No, this job would be done through the trust money.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
you draw down on the trust money.
Right,
as
so
far as that goes.
It's really, you
So you have to
know, they're
approve
coming
the
to the,
expenditure,
Yeah.
because it's not to the town, but I mean, it's trust money you're administering. And you have to decide if you're happy with the benches and the location of the benches.
yeah. This was like the original, right, the plan, I know,
Yes.
like, this is a long time, this is like 20.
Yes, we've been working on
21.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. And it actually, the same ones that are at the 9/11 memorial, I know that
Mhm.
I know you and I, Supervisor Wojciechowski, we had talked about it a number of times. And also, we were talking about the homestead as well, and I think, you know, it was getting a little confusing, but, this ultimately came as they had the pictures of this, and we wound up just, you know, I just helped them reach out to the landscapers, and that was my only role. Ultimately, it's up to your organization to decide what you wanna do with it.
Is this something we can vote on tonight, or
I
do
think
other
we
people
should.
have to weigh in on this?
It's theirs.
So I mean, I'm not ready to decide on this tonight.
Well-
So I think that,
Is there any legal reason why, I just wanna understand like the whys, if it's their trust and it's their,
the town board has
Money.
complete oversight of the money. We allocate the funding, we approve it, we allocate what happens on the property. This is the town board decision
well,
with advice from the Friends, is how I look at it.
Yeah, no, that's procedurally what you've done. Legally, the only thing I would say is I only see a quote for 3,400. I don't see a
Oh,
quote.
you didn't get this, maybe you didn't get this, that third page.
there's
The
there's
third
another
The
page.
last page is the Randazzo quote.
Okay, no, I did not get a third
Yeah.
page.
Missing.
about that.
It's all right.
All right,
So
so
we
you
fixed-
do have a quote from Randazzo.
I have two.
You don't have pictures of the benches, but I mean, if you know what
Yes,
they are.
you do, yes, you do, it's right, the second page,
Yeah, that's
from
on the
Mr.
stone-
Speranza, they're the
that's
same
the
exact
Speranza
ones.
quote.
Huh?
If you know what the benches are, you don't need a picture.
Well, I'm
But-
just saying, you asked if there was a picture.
This is a picture of the benches.
Yes, they're the same ones that are at the 9/11
All right.
memorial.
And you can kind of tell where they're gonna go based on
Yes.
this.
I'm
but it is
talking
just a
to
hand drawing.
Yes.
Rocha and Mr. McCarty, who I spoke to earlier today about this. They wanted to weigh in on both of these.
He
So
told
I
me he
did.
was fully in support of this.
So that's not what so again,
I'll call him if you want.
we're missing
We
two
can't do that.
board members right now, so I think,
Well, I make a motion that we approve, the proposal that the Sands Ring trustees have before us, and we trust them to do what they're doing to the property
I
fixers.
certainly trust them entirely. I think if you make the motion and I second it, there will not be a third vote. So I think in times past, when other board members have expressed an interest in having a little more time to consider something, those expressions have been consented to by other board members. It's not very often that Mr. Wojciechowski asks for additional time. This is not a slight on the Sand Spring,
Well-
obviously. Everyone wants them to have a beautiful property. We've spent a lot of money on Sand Spring. We want them to be preserved, and they are a very important anchor in this community. So this is not that's not a derogation on that. It's really more because Mr. Wojciechowski has asked for a little more time. We've done it for each other in the past.
Right.
If we could give him a little more time.
Well, but this is the last board meeting, and the email that Mr. Wojciechowski sent was saying that it was going to be a decision for the next board. We as a board, when they came to us last year, and there was a proposal for a chess table on that property, we stood up and we supported that chess table, because of the historical context, the fact that it's in front of the cemetery, that we were not going to place it there. I think there's a concern that the new board is not going to see it the same. And you know what, I'm sorry, I feel very strongly, and I feel a weight that, you know, they've entrusted us to do the right thing for us, and if that happens, I personally will never forgive myself for not fighting for this tonight. I don't think it's right. I think that we should allow them to have their autonomy. It's two simple plain benches which reflect the Sands Ring. You've seen this, so I'm not really sure why you need more time on this, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I just think as a moment of decency that we should be doing this. And that's what this community, and this is what the Quakers are about. Community, dignity, and respect.
I think it's important that we recognize that what's before us right now are the benches. I understand that there was a past discussion about other items being installed, but that's not before us right now.
But this thing has been, I apologize to you, but the supervisor has seen this probably for over the past year and a half.
I just don't know when there's been a time in the past when a board member has asked for
Tim
time
has- yeah.
and we have not granted it. I just don't want to be inconsistent. I think one thing people can recognize about my practice on this board is I prefer fairness and consistency. A board member is asking for more time, and I would be very glad to grant that. And I understand that that might mean that I will not weigh in on this issue.
You won't.
That it won't
It's
come
done.
up again this month, but that's all part of it. The
Well,
voters have spoken, there will be a new board, and that is all part of accepting the continuity of democracy.
I understand
I don't wanna
this.
like overstate the issue, but we're talking
We're
about
not over-
benches, so.
Right, but again, it's something so simple, and it's simple, and it fits into their plan.
Okay,
I
but we don't
think-
have the votes. We don't have the votes, and
Well, I make the motion, if you wanna second it, and we just go down, that's fine. But I would like this on the record, that this is, tonight was what is going to happen.
And I always appreciate your input and your comments, and they obviously are
No, I'm
entirely
very much-
regarded,
yeah.
and, but I will not second the motion. I will.
All right, make sure that's on the
I will be
record.
consistent that an additional time is an appropriate thing to
Well-
defer on. And I'm sorry I won't be able to weigh in, because I think the Sands Ring and the trust does an amazing job for our
Right.
town and preserves the beautiful property that has been entrusted to them, and I appreciate all of your work, and I do appreciate that you come, and I can't wait to see the benches be installed next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just to let you know, the Sands family is still very tied to the home. We recently received furniture, original Sands furniture from a family, and we have received hopefully what will be another trust from the family. So they are still very tied to the house and this community, even though they don't live here anymore.
Well, thank you for all your work, and it's obvious that you're not only working, but you're emotionally invested, and I think that's one thing that sets Cornwall apart from a lot of communities, is that everyone here loves it here
Yeah.
and loves the things that they
Yeah.
volunteer for, and I appreciate you.
Well,
I just think it's unfortunate that, you know, this isn't we're not doing the benches. We've had multiple board members who are not here tonight that would like to have a chance to weigh in on it, and I don't think that that this is not going to happen. We have pretty much done.
I would like some of your reassurances
We
and
have
support
done,
on this.
we have spent almost $200,000 on the Sands Ring homestead.
But this is separate.
We have,
This
we
is
have,
cemetery.
we have spent lots of money, we have worked with this organization, and we have done good by this organization. And I think to ask for a little more time is not an unreasonable request,
Right, and
It's
you're
an-
gonna have it, so.
and so that's all we're asking
Right,
for.
and
I don't think it
I
has to
hope-
be a
right.
thing, and so
Well, I'll be,
that's.
you know, I'll be watching
So-
this. I think that, you know, yes, I was one of the people that was digging in the dirt and starting this park. And it would be such an abomination if something else turned up on there that was not in line in respect to the founding people of this community. And that's why I'm pushing so hard. I mean, we have things on this agenda tonight, that are already set. They're on town property, and tonight we're going to approve their dedication. So I would like to, you know, if you want to be consistent and fair, there are things that are planted on town hall tonight, that have been on town hall, and tonight we're gonna vote to accept the donations, but they're already on town property and they've been installed. I just wanna counter that. So I think we should be fair all along. And I do think with this org group, there are times that there are things that have been put on that property without their knowledge, with the homesteading, you know, their knowledge by people who just think they can put things on. And I really just don't want that to happen to this very hard group of working people who, they have my utmost respect. That's it.
I appreciate your passionate remarks, but I don't think that I should be slighted for the words that I've used, so please.
Oh, I wasn't slighting you. I'm just pointing out as a matter of record, if you look down on the agenda tonight, there are things on this agenda. If you go down, Councilwoman Edelman Reyes, if you go down to item number 13, holiday decoration dedications, the menorah and the nativity, all those items have been installed in town property. We are going to vote tonight to accept them, but they're already there. I just want to put that out there. So if you want to be consistent, let's be consistent. So, all right.
Okay.
I know I'm not going to have the votes, but I'm going to go on record. I really think that this is a very sad way to end the year, because if we even had a work session, we could have even discussed it next week, but we're not going to, because we've had all these different meeting changes.
And I appreciate
Thank
the
you, Joanna.
discussion,
Thank you.
and I appreciate you making time on the agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Thank
Joanna.
you.
I appreciate it. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I certainly hope it makes it to the agenda next month and is not, just didn't make it there again, so make sure it's on next month's
Sure.
agenda, please.
Okay, so next we have the resolution for the Stone Hollow subdivision dedication. So, okay, so just before we, we're gonna do this in the special meeting, but basically, we've been dealing with this now, geez, probably since I
So,
came into. it's been
before
a
we were on the
long-
board,
Yeah, since before I was
we were
on the board, this goes back to the, early 2000s. It was finally built out, then we had, financial crisis, then we had, COVID,
Yeah.
And there was a lot of unfinished work that had to be done, and, as many of you can recall, over the past couple of years, we got to different points in time when we thought we would be, walking away from dealing with the developer, and we stuck it out. And, I wanna thank the residents too that live there, because I'm sure they had to deal with a lot, wondering what was gonna happen throughout this whole time, is the town gonna get this done, are they not gonna get this done? I mean, look, I thank you for sticking with us and having faith that this is, was gonna happen. But, we got there. There are, just so you're aware, if you look at, if you have the electronic packaging, you see that there are, A through G, different conditions that have to be met. We expect those to be met, over the next, but we're gonna do this, and this will be conditional on, if you go and look through this,
Yeah. Can you tell us which ones have
Sure.
they done? That would be nice.
well, all the things that are here, so submission of the deeds, right,
Okay.
with the full covenant and warranty and easements, those have to be fully,
The easements we've already approved is to form, the deeds, they sent a bargain and sale deed, you need warranty and full covenant against grantors acts. So now they've revised it, I'll
Okay,
review that, and then they'll submit signed copies, which the town will have accepted by virtue of this.
You have to
Once I acknowledge, once I
Right,
report that they are in, for acceptable form.
you have to record it with the clerk's office, right, so until that's
The
completed.
developer records
that-
it with the clerk's office, not the town, that way if there's any problems or expense, it's on
Right.
them. The town doesn't take ownership of the road until the recording is complete.
okay, thank you.
Your title insurance, you've got, certified copy of the as-built. Gary, we have a copy of the as-built plans.
4 sets of
Yes.
the drainage, the road improvements, and another thing with the basins.
Yeah, I hadn't received information on that when this resolution was drafted. So something has to be sent to the town board saying, or at least me,
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that,
We'll
So we
take
have
care
to
of
vote
that.
on that again?
No, we'll take care of
Pardon?
that.
Would we have to come back and vote on it?
no, once I receive it, I'll send notice to the town.
He has to
board.
deem that it's acceptable, so
Thank
Gary's
you,
just
Steve.
gotta.
And that's just getting
Yeah.
notice that they in fact filed the as-bills with the clerk.
If the tender of maintenance security in a form acceptable to the town attorney and the required amounts. We need certification from the village of Cornwall and Hudson. I spoke to Mike Trainer earlier today about that, and they're back and forth with attorneys. There was a payment that was overnighted. The village will be releasing that as soon as they receive the payment. We've got, payment of all outstanding fees, costs, and amounts due to the town of Cornwall. I think that's just a matter of, we've gotta do an accounting of, is there anything left in either escrow or elsewhere that has to be paid over, to the, I don't believe there is, but again, these are just minor things. We expect to clean these up over the next couple of weeks. And then, so upon these being completed, then we will take formal acceptance of the roadway, the easements, and the related improvements. But we wanna do this tonight. We don't wanna wait because, we're not gonna meet again until January, so there's really no reason to wait. We're just gonna work really hard to make sure that these, items A through G get done before the
I
holidays.
expect that they will.
Yeah, we expect they will. And Ginsburg, look, they are still on, now let me just ask you while I have you, they've been, because I've driven through, they have been taking care of snow removal operations right when it snows?
Somebody has. Someone has.
Okay, yes, well, they've contracted with,
Wasn't us.
no, it wasn't us, that's why I'm,
Yeah.
so until we formally accept this, they have to continue doing it, and they have been doing it. I'm sure once we do that, I'll let you know, Chris, and I'll reach out to you and be like, look, the town's plowing your road now. You have a question? Yeah,
I do have a request.
yeah,
So, in October of 2024, we were given, HOA was given less than 24 hours' notice to observe the irrigation system in the front entranceway, that it was functional. Obviously, we didn't make it there because we had less than 24 hours' notice. I don't know why, I don't know who scheduled it, I don't know why we were left off, but I would request that the bond that you hold keep some money back in case things don't work when we go to turn it on in the spring, because it's obviously too late to test it now, given how cold it's been. Furthermore, after they tested it, they then dug 2 holes next to those 2 entrance pillars that they left open from before Thanksgiving of 2024 until the end of the winter. So that could very well have caused pipes to freeze if there was any water remaining in there. So as the HOA, we would like some recourse in the event that that system is no longer functioning in the past 15 months. So can you maintain some money in the performance bond to cover any expenses related to that? We will turn it on early in the spring, whenever that's allowed.
Well, not in the performance bond per se. Performance bond is for installment. Once it's installed, and it's acknowledged as being installed, you really can't hold the performance bond anymore. I do not recall what the maintenance requirement was in regard to this subdivision. We could take a look and see if there's any maintenance bond requirement on it.
I
In
think there
regard-
is a maintenance bond requirement,
so
In regard to the improvements that are being dedicated to the town, the roadway and the drainage easement and all, there's a maintenance bond as well. That is a separate maintenance bond that will not cover generally what's in the subdivision. So to answer your question, the performance bond, no. We can look and see if there's a maintenance security requirement, and if there is, we'll see if that addresses the particular improvement you're talking about. But the maintenance bond that's being posted with this offer of dedication will not cover the improvement you're discussing.
Thank you for the clarity there. I have to say, I'm very disappointed that we are at this point,
Yeah.
and we have not been able to we have not had access to that irrigation system. And it was never demonstrated to be working to
the
anybody
HOA.
on the HOA. And that's
which
just not
is a
right.
requirement on the punch list, so.
And it's
Yeah.
been on the punch list. We've been watching that punch list, and I don't know why it's no longer on there. October 2024 is a long time ago.
They have said, and Village, there's actually an email, I believe,
Yes.
response
Uh-huh.
back to you, the Village has said that they believe it was demonstrated to them, and so there seems to be a disconnect between, you have two parties that are agreeing it was properly demonstrated to them, and the HOA saying that they didn't have time to have it demonstrated. So there's a disagreement, that's essentially
I think
The
Mike,
issue
if you
there.
read Mike's email, he says that during the inspection, they
Yeah.
found a leak. He never clarifies whether he had a second inspection after a leak was supposedly fixed, or if there was a final inspection to the inspection that demonstrated there was a leak. But because of the outstanding water bills that are just now being
Right.
worked on at the last minute, we have not been able to turn the water on since we've, been working on this project. So unfortunately, the day that it was inspected by the water department, no one from the HOA was notified.
And he says the date that that inspection took place was October of 2024,
Right.
14 months ago.
well, I mean, I guess the question is, do you want us to, are we gonna hold up the dedication right now? Or are we, and I guess we're kind of at the point now where,
No, it's not worth holding it up, but I do think it's worth
Would you-
expressing our extreme exhaustion over this whole thing, but just, that like, we have been so communicative, we've been so available, I've been at these meetings, you have, I've never not responded to an email. So it was odd that, and I've been asking about this particular line item, because the HOA did not want to be the holdup.
Mm.
And so.
they have claimed that they have turned it over to you. That is, so again, this is
It
a.
couldn't be turned over to us though
So-
until
so-
the bills were paid. So
So
that,
That
the-
is correct.
The issue here, as I see it, is basically that, this is an item that is the HOA's responsibility, and so the town worked on its punch list of getting everything done, and, Ginsburg.
So what are you saying, that basically this particular difficulty is beyond anything we can address?
Well, what
Has
would we
nothing
do?
to do with the items being dedicated to the town, nothing.
Right, so
being
I
dedicated.
think that's
No,
what
I
the
know.
difficulty is, it's really, we hear we hear you.
yeah,
Um,
we are going to, at this point, because we have no other option than to assume the risk that the system does have further flaws. The HOA is well under the understanding that the town board can't do anything, the town can't do anything at this point without holding up dedication. Unfortunately, that does leave us assuming the risk that once the water is turned over, once it is paid and turned over, that once we go to turn it on, there will be costs to the HOA.
I mean, it sounds like, am I gathering this correctly, that even if we held up dedication, it's not something we have jurisdiction over? It's not part of the
It's between
dedication,
the HOA and the
It's-
developer.
it's for you guys.
Right, but it
and
was
so there's
on the
nothing we
punch list
can-
for dedication and it is not punched off, I guess, like in whatever
Right,
that is.
interesting.
So in
So I
theory,
think that the difficulty is
Yeah.
that, that irrigation system is between you and them, and it's not something we have jurisdiction over, so we can't hold up whatever we have jurisdiction over, over the irrigation system.
They could come
So-
back and say you're holding this up over an item that you're not responsible for.
Has nothing
so
to
let
do
me
with dedication of
understand
the road.
that,
Yeah.
just
Right,
for
right,
clarification, because my understanding for the last year and a half that I've been the president of this HOA, that we've been an HOA, was that the town was making the stipulation of the whole project that there was an HOA. And that we were required by the town, this was not like a requirement of GDC, that the town was requiring the HOA to maintain the front area, the irrigation, which is part of that front area, etc. Those, I was told, in my understanding, I think our entire board's understanding, is that the reason we have an HOA is because the town required it of the project. Maybe not this board, but again, when
I think
the
it's-
project was done.
I think the HOA is it the covenant with the land? It's
Well,
like-
when
it's
the
part of-
developer goes to create property and there's common areas in it and they wanna get their approval from the planning board, they have to make provision for someone to take care of the common areas. And so they say, we're going to do this by establishing an HOA. And then there's an agreement, homeowners agreement
Right.
between the developer and the homeowners between themselves as to who takes care of those common areas. This falls within that.
Correct, but it's been on the punch list for road dedication. So if it wasn't within the town's jurisdiction, I don't know why that was included then for the last,
3
How-
years.
yeah.
3.5 years.
as a line item to be checked off that it was demonstrated to the HOA to be functional,
And
which
there
was
was,
never done.
there was no way for us to test it ourselves because they had a $40,000 outstanding water bill.
We couldn't turn the
So
water on.
you and the town of, the village of Cornwall have put the HOA into a very bad position where there is no win for us.
It's just an assumed financial risk.
I don't know that the.
When are they
I
gonna
mean,
turn the water back on?
The bill's paid.
the
Can't
bill-
turn the water.
Oh, they haven't paid the bill.
The village, that's one of the requirements on the list.
They,
is the village-
they have a
So-
bank
so
check that is being FedExed, they're not gonna not pay it. It's
Yeah,
gonna get-
believe it when I see it.
I,
That's-
I,
Yeah, me too.
I,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I agree with that.
This is a terrible,
What's the
this-
risk we
they're terrible
take,
track
like,
record.
if we,
Yeah.
we vote to,
There-
you know, to
there's
dedicate this
no-
and there's no check and then,
There's no risk, it says right here that we can't take it unless the
You
village
will not
certifies
take it
that-
until you get a certification that's written
from
resolution.
the village.
so then why are we, okay, I
Wait,
just don't
why are we
understand why
talking
we're,
about it then?
then why are we voting on this
Why are we
tonight?
voting on it?
I don't
So
mean to be,
that-
I
so
don't
that the-
mean to
Sorry.
be,
So that you have some plowing,
But we do have plowing.
and then.
GDC has to cover it.
Paperwork, we can take the road.
But so he's gonna plow it, and then in a month, when you don't get that check, we're gonna go back?
We're not plowing it until we get the check.
Oh, yeah.
But
So
that,
then what are we voting on?
well, if we get the check in the next week, we
See,
can
I
plow.
can't- I-
Otherwise, we gotta wait.
Oh,
till
so
the-
Would you like
we're-
to table this for
I think we should
January?
table this until,
I think we wait.
I think- yeah,
don't know.
because-
Is there some
Our-
reason it
This
has to
makes
be
me
that
worried.
way?
can I get a, like, how does it?
I thought we wanted to get this done
I wanna hear the
because we
public.
want to
How do
make
you
sure
feel?
that this is
You don't get
done.
At least a
So
check.
that
I mean, this
we
is
have all the
horrible. I don't
conditions,
wanna-
we won't accept it until the conditions are met.
I would think so.
So
I
that's,
think you don't have the votes.
No,
The main reason
there you go.
we're doing it would be, once the conditions are satisfied, the town supervisor can let the highway superintendent know they've been satisfied. And from that moment, the town can take over plowing and not have to wait to a next scheduled meeting.
If we
I
waive,
agree with that.
if we waive
That,
the
that's
risk,
really the reason
the
I
goal,
think
we're
the
doing
bigger
this
risk-
tonight.
I think the bigger risk is the plowing cost than the irrigation cost. I totally agree with that,
And
but
that's the
The
reason
water-
we're
I
doing
would
this, to
request
try
that the
and.
board and the village do a better job with the handovers of HOAs in the future, because this
Of
has
all
been a
new development
disaster.
projects,
this has been the first HOA in what, 20 years in Cornwall?
Yeah, this has been.
So I mean, this
That's
is,
fair, that's
so,
fair.
so I mean, this is, to be fair, this is the last big development. When I look at the permits, we've been building like 4 and 5 homes each year for the, this is the last big thing we've done in Cornwall, construction-wise in 20 years. So, you know, just from that, you know, perspective, like, look, I get it, like, are there better
It did.
Yeah, it took
It
20 years to
did.
build, so
That's
it's been
right.
last
Yes,
20 years.
I
You were-
remember.
You were the
I-
most recent and,
Yeah.
and the last so
And the
far.
last, yeah.
And so, look, have we learned things? Yes, we have learned things. This has been a 4-year experience for the town trying to close this out, you know, and,
So are we, can I ask
yeah.
then, as, if the vote goes tonight and the resolution does pass and you do take over and the plowing happens, I think one of the things was if the road, if you plowed and the road wasn't dedicated, that there would be some sort of weirdness in that mix, so.
I mean,
What is
until
it?
the,
We're not gonna
until,
plow
plow
roads
unless
can
now.
I ask a legal
We won't do it.
question?
Yeah.
Until we actually, right, we, this road is dedicated to the town, should we shouldn't be plowing it, correct?
No, we
Don't
don't.
plow the
We
road
haven't been.
Don't.
until
We haven't
the
been.
deeds
Right,
are
but it
recorded
sounds
and
like
all the
Let's
conditions.
vote on it so we can plow the road, but if these
There was-
conditions aren't met,
There was a concern, this
I'm
was
hearing
expressed
what
by
you're
the HOA, that they didn't wanna have to be on the hook for the plowing costs, so let's get this done before the winter, and that's what we've been like plowing towards, literally, to try to get this done, because we don't wanna, you know, run the risk that the developer walks away from this, so we wanted to get to that point, and so that's why we've been like rushing, and we thought that that was more important than.
Absolutely appreciate
So-
that, we appreciate that. We
Oh,
want to
no, no.
acknowledge that, yes, everybody's been everybody, the building department, highway department, everybody's been very,
Everybody but GDC.
except the color. But yeah, I think there's still risks.
I really want to protect you. I mean,
Yeah,
that you're
no,
not getting, I don't feel,
But we can only do what's within our own jurisdiction, to the
but you have
extent
that
we
water bill
have-
that's still
We
sitting
have
out there.
control over something, if we know we don't have control over the irrigation system, but we do have jurisdiction over the roadway and we can be helpful in that regard, then we should do this. Because if you're going to wait on the irrigation system that has nothing to do with us, where the town is inserting itself in something that we should not insert. Why it was a line item, why that makes someone think that we have taken responsibility for the irrigation system when we did not, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I don't know. I do know that winter is here,
Yes.
Yeah,
so.
and I agree, this is the biggest, that's the bigger risk. I was just hoping that there was something in the performance bond or the maintenance bond that could help us in that situation.
But you're
And if
saying
there's
we
not,
can't.
there's not.
Yeah, I mean, look, I
they're stuck.
I
Oh, if it
apologize
doesn't
for
work,
the
they're
list.
stuck.
We've had, not to, but look, we've had probably 3 or 4 different engineers that have been dealing with, for the town, that have been dealing with that same list over 20 years. 2 in the last year, so there's been, how things evolved, I don't know, but again, we don't have another meeting until,
13th.
January.
the 13th of January, so it is really truly my hope that this can be resolved in the next 2 weeks, and that, we're out there plowing and we're not running the risk of, somebody just walking away
Yeah.
because they feel like they're basically done, and then we have no recourse.
Well, there's lawsuits, but.
Well, yeah,
They're
Yeah,
not the
I'm
money
just
you
gonna
get,
say,
so.
yeah.
but then you're not getting your road plowed.
And you're not getting your road plowed during the lawsuit, yeah.
So,
So from this vote today, tonight, we are assuming that over the next 2 weeks, all of the paperwork is going to be done, and we'll be good by the end of the year,
Is that,
not to do anything else.
Is that
If
reasonable?
the paperwork's not
Anticipating, I
done,
wouldn't say assuming,
It's a
but
reasonable
anticipating.
anticipation.
right, if it's not done,
right, then,
It's
What
not done, things just stay the way they are.
if it's not done, then it stays in.
So then
then this
limbo.
vote just,
Right,
but you
yeah.
are, you're voting and you're approving it tonight. So
Well,
we just
no,
say-
we're
We've been
approving it.
aspirational before, we could do it again.
We're approving
No,
it
I
subject
guess
to all
we
these
have.
things being, if all these items, A through G are not done, the town doesn't take the road. So Steve here is gonna have to literally check off each item. I'm gonna be like, Steve, we got this. He looks at it, check.
At
And we're gonna-
the end of the day, you're gonna get a memo, and it's gonna say all of these have been met. When that happens, Tom is gonna issue a memo saying we're adding this to the list of town roads. We keep a CHIPS list.
Okay,
And once that's done, we can
Okay.
plow, the road belongs to the town.
okay, and if we're coming back here in January, it means that it didn't get on that.
Oh, if we're coming back here in January because they've not done this and they've not paid we got a much bigger problem than,
Yeah, but I gotta tell you,
I
the
don't-
deeds have been drafted,
Yeah.
the easements have been drafted. They're motivated to get them recorded. Could there be a holdup at the county clerk's office? It's the end of the year.
I've got like 30
Could
emails in
happen,
from
but
like
I
going
mean-
back and forth between all the attorneys and all the Ginsburg people because they're like amped up to get
Yeah,
rid
they
of
wanna put
Cornwall.
an end to this, so. I reasonably expect that'll happen.
Yeah,
Is it possible that it doesn't? Yeah, but I don't think it will. I think it'll be done before the end of the year.
I really love the optimism. I'm optimistic too.
Okay.
I mean, we are we're very happy to be done, but I think it sounds like we're just so close.
We are.
Awesome. Perfect,
Okay.
thank you.
okay,
You wanna move on?
yep, we can. All right, so next we have this, let me just get to the,
You didn't vote on it.
we're not,
going into.
Special
You have to
meeting.
go into
It's a
the,
special meeting.
it's for
Oh,
the
okay.
special
special
meeting.
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, agenda item number 3, traffic study. Okay, so I know we've spoken a little, well, a member of the audience mentioned this, so let me just, I think most of you know why we're doing this, but basically, we have that issue over on Old West Point Road. DOT's doing the work around the mountain. They had those extra high medians that, people coming out of Old West Point and elsewhere couldn't see above them. And so we had, worked with the DOT. They ended up removing some of them, cutting some of them down, but then they installed these bumper things that come out that ended up obstructing the view anyway. So then we've been in conversation with the DOT, so we have folks who live on Old West Point Road, myself, Scoobus's office, Tommy, DOT, going back and forth. DOT basically asked us to, put in the request to have them do a study, because there's basically, mostly long-term options here for dealing with this. They're not gonna remove those bumpers, right? I don't believe they're gonna remove the bumpers that are there. You see them, that, like, they're sticking out from
Yeah,
the-
I see.
So, basically, in order for them to do anything further, like reduce the speed limit, which is what they're recommending, again, I don't know if they're ever gonna do that, but that's what they're suggesting is the option, is for the state to reduce the speed limit coming around that turn. Maybe they will, maybe they don't. I know I've been waiting 2 years for them to approve a school speed zone request in front of the middle school. So, not, again, this is where I'm not feeling optimistic with DOT, but, I think we've gotta do this anyway, we've gotta just keep pushing, and hopefully, the residents will stay with us, and we'll get our legislators to push DOT. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, Joe or Tommy, but,
So basically, this resolution is just to deliver to the New York State DOT.
we're gonna complete that paperwork.
But
that
we're
we
not, we're
submit.
not expending any
No,
funds.
the,
on that.
the
It's
deal is,
the state has to do it for you.
Yeah.
Right, I just wanna clarify that one.
well, when you ask for a speed reduction on a town road below what's allowed by the state, or a county road,
Goes to the
there's a form that you submit. And
Yes.
then the county approves it and it goes to the state.
Yep.
When you ask for a speed study or speed reduction on a state road,
Uh-huh,
you actually have to submit directly to the DOT. You do not go through the county with the form
I
like you
understand.
normally submit.
okay.
And what they like to see is a certified copy of a town board resolution with a cover letter from the highway superintendent, very
Okay.
briefly laying out the reasons for
Okay.
the speed reduction, speed study, whatever it may be. So the thing to do is, once you voted on this, get a certified copy from the clerk, and if Tom wants help putting together a letter, I'll be happy to help him. If he has a form, he can use it himself, that's fine too. But you submit it, and they'll pay attention to it. Now, will they pay attention quickly? That I can't promise.
I mean, I will say, this was requested by one of the regional engineers for the DOT. So they did tell us that we had to do this, so at least we have that.
That's
So,
exactly right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, at least it's not like a shot in the dark, hey, will you reduce the speed on this town road, Next, we have the reorganization meeting. This is, gonna be Tuesday, January 13th. It would be our regularly scheduled work session. So that's when that would be. Next we have the Jewish Family Services, the senior visitor, the friendly visitor program. Again, just to allow me to authorize the agreement again to continue doing the work. I think we should continue doing this.
Yes.
We've got the Hasbrook Drainage Project additional easements, so, as you know, we've paused work for the rest of the year. We've had to redesign the third leg of the project. It originally was gonna go down Union, under Main Street, and out to the creek. That was proving to be, as we started looking further into it, and we were looking at all these like utility crossings and having to shore up old buildings and all sorts of things, it was gonna add potentially $500,000 plus to the project. So what we asked our design engineer to go back and take a look, can you keep the project on track and very close, if not the same or less, because now we have a lot less distance and, drainage, infrastructure, that we have to put in, and so there may actually be a way to come in under a little bit. And so we have found a way to do it, but in order to do it, we have to basically cut across, come down Union, cut across Clinton, go through about 5 properties, and then come out and come in before the bridge. And so we've been in, our design engineer, our engineer, the construction contractor, we've been dealing with the county on this as well. And so we believe we've found the path, and we basically have a new redesign that was gonna require the easements from these additional 6 parcels. So we've been dealing with this the past couple of weeks. As you know, we have these like weekly construction meetings for the drainage project, and so we've already now, we've spoken to the majority of these property owners. They've agreed to sign. I think we have one that we have, the there's one on here, it's like a single family home that we've gotta, but that's like the one, if we don't get that one, we can actually just, like, there's another way around it, but these other four, we've essentially secured. So we just need, you know, my ability to, you know, I need your, you know, approval to allow me to sign the easements. The work will start again, we believe sometime either like early, you know, like in February, somewhere between February and March 1st. We were gonna have a pause until sometime in April or May, but it looks like we can actually start up sooner and be done with the project by April 1st. And then, you know, be working on restoration and have everything wrapped up by the summer. So,
Have they developed a new map to actually show
yeah.
the path? Is it someplace for us to see it? I mean, I guess the engineers redid something, shouldn't we have seen it? I'm just asking the question, so.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, there is. I mean, basically, yes, there's like a new map, that we have. It basically cuts through these properties. So if you know, it's basically gonna go through, Clinton, through the top of, you have that blue, apartment building, then it goes through the other, the backyard of the other. It goes through 317, 325, and 331. So you're basically cutting back through those properties and then coming in, you know, we're having to get an easement from the new, from the new property owner of the Canterbury, building. And so that's,
These easements are being dedicated, by the
yeah,
way.
they're being
The
given
town's
to us.
not buying them or
Yeah,
anything.
we're not buying them,
Going
this is
to-
like they're signing it because we're.
No, but it's a
adding-
new, is it right, it's a new map, or it's a new diagram where it's now going, am I
It's not
correct?
MHE who's doing the drawings. Josh, you remember the name of the engineering firm that's doing
Yeah,
the?
Larry Marshall, it's
Larry Marshall's doing it.
MNTN.
So we've got
Yeah.
the meets and bounds descriptions, my office is putting together the
Okay,
easements.
I know, I'm just-
and
Yeah.
when they come in, Josh has to, he can't just on his own take easements for the town. So
Right.
we've got, what,
The-
6 easements here, I think, and
Yeah,
it's gonna
there's like-
allow you to
There's
work on
like
this
loads
project.
and loads, yeah, there's easement descriptions, you know,
Okay.
there's descriptions, there's bounds, there's maps, there's plans, there's all sorts of things, but until we know that, you know, we're kind of under, you know, this all kind of came together in the last, let's just say like 2 weeks.
I know it's December, but spring rolls around mighty quick, and you're gonna have this out for contract, I think, pretty soon, right? And once you get the contract, you can't be held up because you don't have easements. So you gotta have easements before you begin the work. And so that's what we're trying to do, is put together the few easements that you need to have this other leg in the line. And they're good.
So that's,
Oh, we'll do this, but we won't do a bench.
so let me see, then we have, the short-term, let me see, what am I on here?
Number 7.
Yep, sorry, I've got stuff in there, number 7, short-term rental, permit and registration fees. So, this is the building department has asked that we increase the permit and registration fee and the annual permit fee from what it is currently at. This is for short-term rentals. We're currently at $100 for the permit and registration fee and a renewal fee of $25. They want to bring up the schedule of fees to impose a registration fee to $250 and then a permit fee to $150. We're starting to get a lot of these, and we're starting to spend a lot of time on these, and we expect that, once, that we actually have 75, 100 more of these that we're gonna have our department working on to register. We know they're out there, but we have people that have, as you know, they're basically not registered, they've
Right.
chosen not to.
Agree.
So we're now gonna have, enforcement that's gonna have to happen on
Well, I'd like,
potentially 100 properties.
you know, in October, the county did pass that local law, and, they are hiring a consultant to actually identify the properties in the municipalities, and they'll actually give that data to the town.
Yes, but they will not collect the taxes.
Right, but they'll
Yes.
give you the data, so you
Yeah.
will be, and
Yes.
he's not here now, but the building inspector then would be able to enforce those who have not registered.
Right, but that's not what this is for. This is so.
No,
that
I'm
the-
just saying, this is a
Okay.
process of what's going on, because I know he's talking about,
No, we've
the part.
talked about that before.
Yeah.
But that's not before us tonight.
well, that's what,
Just the registration.
So that's the
hopefully we'll help
registration.
identify more and they'll register.
All right, then we have 8, this is the memo from the supervisor on hotel occupancy tax collections. So initially, I thought that we were actually gonna have to amend the local law to change who's collecting the tax. Steve went, I think you said you had another town across the river that recently did this, and was it Fishkill?
Well, I actually looked
Yeah.
at the text of your
Yeah.
local law, and what your local law says
Right.
is that the hotel room tax is collected and administered by the town supervisor or such town employee as he shall or she shall designate.
Yeah, so,
So you don't need to amend the code, all you have to do is have a memo designating, it has to be a willing employee, of course, a town employee to undertake collection, administration, tax, and that's what Josh is doing.
yeah, so basically, the clerk's office is gonna take it, and then, because of they're being added, this is an additional responsibility outside of their official duties that are delineated in town code, we're going to give her we're gonna be creating a, stipend next year to compensate for the additional duties. It'll probably be like a hotel room, or a short-term rental tax collection stipend that the clerk's office is gonna get, so we'll be creating that in
Well-
January.
Okay, so the stipend,
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna be contingent on, because if you don't collect.
No, we are collecting right now, and
Okay.
so we expect, to be whether or not we're gonna be using the, depending how long it takes the county to get their, to get all that together, we don't know how long that's gonna take. The town will be continuing to, to do what it needs to do to make sure people comply. Next, we have the Association of Towns Annual Conference. The same thing we do every year, it's typically President's Day weekend, from usually Sunday until through Tuesday night. People come home on Wednesday. We usually let the, town employees and town officers attend that conference, because it's a valuable learning experience. So, that'll be on just to approve the attendance of town officials and employees to go to that conference. 10, we have the towing applications. We're gonna be looking to take care of this later. This is basically, you can see who has had the requirements met here and who is not, who's awaiting inspection. So we have that, we're gonna take a look at that. Number 11, we have the OC Tourism Grant sub-applications. I think it would be good for us to, so far, we've only awarded, it's $4,999.99, and so far, we've awarded 1,000 to the library. I'm sorry, not the library, the Historical Society, they've not spent it all.
Okay.
You can see these other, organizations here, and you can see the Chamber of Commerce has different events, the Independence Day Committee, the Arts Alliance, and COH Special Events.
Do we
They have
to-
access to
I'm sorry.
their own tourism grant in the village, so I don't see the need to give COH Special Events a,
I'm sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you.
yeah.
The Arts Alliance, they didn't get anything?
Well, we haven't awarded it yet, they submitted, but we haven't done it.
Yeah, okay. I thought they were on our list, okay.
They are, if you look
Okay.
right here. This
No,
is
no,
the-
what I'm saying.
This is who submitted, so.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna ask tonight is that we basically, we give, the Arts Alliance, we're gonna give them, $960. We're gonna give the Independence Day Committee $1,000, and then we give $2,000 to the Chamber. They have 3 events, but, we can't possibly cover all of those events, but, they've got the Fall Festival, the Car Show, and the Upstate Arts Weekend, so that'll be, I think basically what we do is, whatever, after we give out the 1,000, the 960, and the 1,000, whatever's left goes to the Chamber to cover, well, we can't give more than $499. So, and that's all who submitted. So that's that. I'm only looking to push this because we actually have to finish a report and get it to tourism.
It's
Yeah.
2040 would be left. If you gave, because you already
Yeah.
gave the 1,000 to the Historical Society, the Independence Day Committee is 1,000, 960 to the Arts Alliance, and a collective 2,000 to the chamber for their art weekend, annual car show, and the fall festival. So it would be 2040,
Okay,
actually 2039.
yeah. 2039, okay, that's right, so
Well,
it's not 5,000.
I mean, why, I mean, like the, and again, the Independence Day Committee, I mean, it's a big,
That's what they asked for.
okay,
I mean, I'm just giving what they've asked for, so.
Okay. well,
Let me see, so then, alright, then we've got the Hasbrook drainage, okay, this is the last series of, so, we have Hasbrook Drainage Project, change order number 9. And this is, you may recall, it was basically the last month, they were going up, there was some tree removal, it was it was basically dealing with, the curb and sidewalk replacement plan that they had to put in place to be able to close up that section before they put down the binder. And so that was something that had to be added into the contract, that, if you recall, originally, we were not gonna be doing the paving as part of this, but because we had to close up for the winter, they ended up having to do it as part of their, like, closeout work for the winter, so that's why, Argenio ended up getting this portion. So that is the change order for that. Then we had another change order number 10. This is, $3,200 approximately, and this was just, work, includes changing the sidewalk and asphalt driveways on the eastern end. So in some cases, we basically had to go through, and, there was 11 driveways that we had to bring up to meet the pavement. So this way, there wouldn't be issues when they were getting in and out of their driveway. So this was again last minute, almost field work that had to be done when they were doing this. And then, payment app number 9, this is gonna be the last app that, that we're gonna have for the year until they get back to work. And so this is gonna be, you can see right now that this pay application, which also includes the change orders, this pay app is for $447,000. The balance to finish, that we still have remaining in the contract with them is approximately $2.5 million. So that's the amount that we have left to finish the third leg of the drainage project. Questions? Okay, then we have the holiday decorations. We have the menorah, which is being dedicated to us from Shabbat of Eastern Orange County. And then we have the menorah, the nativity. And so you can see that there are additional pieces that were, and if you look on the back of this, there were a number of donors that have provided for this. You can see the list that's right here, what they assisted with on here. So, 20+ people and organizations helped pay for the nativity that's over there. So there's that. Then, number 14, we have the secretary to the building inspector. So basically what is happening, Rose, who is currently part-time in that office, her role is going to be expanding to full-time in January, as that department has some transitions. And so, similar to what we did in my office with my secretary, there is something called the HELPS program. And so, we are going to be, and my understanding is, so what we've done is that we've created the position, in the county, and I just have to make, according to that office, I essentially have to let the board know and get this into the record that we are going to be creating a full-time, help secretary position under this state program, and that's what we're gonna be doing. And so, You know, Rose is gonna be going into that position, and we'll be setting the salary, in the reorg meeting. She won't be starting until sometime in, you know, January, in that role. In the meantime, she'll be part-time, but. Then we have the police department. We're going to be promoting Officer Butner to the position of detective effective January 1st, 2026. So that is going to be, any questions there on the, no? Yep. Number 16, highway department. We have a few personal transfers that we're going to be making. Any questions for Tommy?
We still technically never filled someone's spot that left. It's been a few months.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely true. So there we have the changes there. Number 17, so let me just get this over to you. Tom, do you wanna just maybe talk about this, a smidge, and then we'll get into the other piece of this, and I'm about to hand you. So, you wanna just, I guess, explain what happened to the steam boiler and, why we're going in the direction we wanna go in here?
Over the long holiday weekend on Thanksgiving, the steam boiler had a little issue. No longer operational in any way, had some pieces blow apart on it. The return line underground is taking a turn for the worst. The company we use for heating repair gave us, came in and gave us a very lengthy walkthrough. Basically said they could spend days trying to repair it, but it appears to be that the flange is warped pretty well, and the odds of them sealing it are slim to none. I don't really think we want to spend the money to have them attempt 4 or 5 days of a repair and it not pan out. And then to replace a steam boiler with another steam boiler is just not very efficient. In order to replace the steam boiler again, we'd have to purchase a new one in and around the area of like $35,000 for just the boiler. All the lines through town hall would have to be replaced as they're so scaled, the steam can't really move through them. The radiators would have to be flushed, and you're looking north of $50,000 very quickly, minus any abatement that would have to happen if we were running new lines through the walls and everything else. So the easiest way to go is there's a couple offices on the 3rd floor that don't have mini splits with heat and air conditioning capabilities. So I'd like to add the mini splits to those offices, and then baseboard heat in the bathrooms. And then pretty much all of town hall will be heat and air conditioning capabilities, and no more steam boiler whatsoever.
We're already using the mini splits for air conditioning. It's really just in the winter when we're using this, steam boiler system. So we're essentially abandoning the steam system for a much more, flexible system that's not gonna you have to rely on, again, it's like a Pandora's box if you start going through those pipes, that I think
The steam boiler system is very expensive to maintain as well. We have a plumber here at least once or twice a month throughout the winter months, dealing with issues because of those lines. The stuff that comes back to the boiler is very thick, syrupy type substance. It's just not ideal in any way.
And so, so the other part of this
So this
is
is,
that it is we've been basically, right now we believe that this is an emergency
There's no
because,
heat in the bathroom. So
yeah, there's no heat in the bathrooms. We're basically overtaxing the systems that we currently have in place to try to heat the whole building based on what we currently have. And, we're in frigid temperatures, it's only gonna get worse, and so we believe this is one of those things that we just have to do now. So we're basically asking, to approve this on an emergency basis and just go this route. Because if we end up, again, if you're going through, this could drag out for months, and you end up in a situation where, you know,
Well, our staff can't not have heat. That's
well,
what-
yes,
yeah, you can't
so
do
that's,
I'll gladly forward you the phone calls from the ladies
Yeah.
out the bathrooms.
that. I was in one earlier.
it's
I
not
get
like,
it.
I mean,
I got
it's
it.
like the whole building too.
And if
You know.
your splits fail, you're out of business. I mean, what are you gonna do? If your splits fail, you're out of business. What are you gonna do? You can't, short term, you can get away with this. I don't know if you can do it all winter.
Oh, well, the upper floors are colder for sure, where there's less of them.
So anyway, that's why it's on an emergency basis.
So basically, yeah, so we looked at, you know, trying to fix it, fix the boiler, no, we looked into that first, and that's just, it's really just not, we think the best route to go. Then we looked at, but the quickest way for us to do this is to work with Petro, so that's who we want to award this to, Petro and RPC, because there's an electrical component to this plan too. So you'll see here, you've got the RPC electric piece, and then you've got the Petro, mini split piece. And so, taken together, because you gotta treat this really together, because the electric is gonna, be part of the install, so that's.
The only good thing is the last time, 3 times we've priced out mini splits, Petro's come in the cheapest every time, so feel pretty confident we have a great plumber.
you were going back to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see, so now we're on to, the special meeting. Before we get there, is there any public comment before we start voting on items?
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to let you know that someone is texting me that some of the live streaming is not going through.
Oh.
So I don't know if it's something you can check for.
Yeah, Rodney's been trying to
Oh,
work on it all
okay.
weekend.
All right, so, I would begin. Karen, I'd like to congratulate you on your appointment and thank you for your service to the board.
Thank you very much.
And I'd like to honor Virginia Scott, and I would like to thank her for her 6 years of dedicated service on the board. Your perseverance, hard work, and genuine commitment to serving others have made a meaningful and lasting impact on our community. Throughout your tenure, you consistently demonstrated the fortitude to ask important questions and make thoughtful decisions, even when faced with adversity or exclusion from others. That strength of character reflects true leadership and a genuine dedication to doing what is right for the people you serve. It was disappointing to hear that during a meeting in which Councilwoman Scott was not present and no official recording was made, a remark was reportedly made referring to her as an obstructionist. Comments of this nature, especially when directed at someone who is not there to respond, can come across as unprofessional and fall short of the standards expected of those in leadership roles. Our community benefits most from respectful, constructive dialogue from leaders who model integrity and professionalism. With all that said, it is truly inspiring to see Virginia's dedication recognized in such a meaningful way. Congratulations on your election as Orange County Legislature. I wish you every success as you enter this new chapter, and may it bring you fulfillment, growth, and countless opportunities to continue making a positive impact. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have been asked to read a letter on behalf of someone that had a work commitment and could not be here this evening.
I don't believe, I think
So
she's
this
used
is
up her
not for
3
me.
minutes.
But this
though.
is another
This is
person.
someone else. This has nothing to do, I'm speaking for someone.
Can she submit it to the,
She can,
I mean, and he couldn't be here, so he asked me
Because
to
I
read
think it
it
was
on
the
his
meeting
behalf.
dates or something.
if the board wants to allow it, they certainly have the discretion to do
Why
that.
I'm fine with
I'm
that.
fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, this is from Stephen Longchenot, 112 Winding Brook Court. Mr. Supervisor, at the last meeting that I was able to attend, I asked you a question. With the town taking on major new projects and multi-year commitments, what is the actual plan to stabilize the tax rate, build reserves for forecasted costs, and prevent future development from continuing to fall on the residents who are already stretched thin. Your response was, I have a free hand and no obstruction. I look forward to moving forward with my vision without obstruction, which I've had for the last 3 years. Respectfully, this does not answer the question, and it does not reflect the record. You've had a nearly perfect success rate on board roads. Every initiative you brought forward has been approved. That is the opposite of obstruction. So when you characterize basic oversight or questions as obstruction, it raises serious concerns about how you view accountability and public input. One example of this was on November 11, 2022, when Councilwoman Scott asked for clarification on budget line items. Information taxpayers and board members have every right to understand. Your response was simply, I don't answer you. How is that democracy? How is that debate? How is that transparency? Residents have been calling for a multi-year financial and capital plan since the beginning of your term. The minutes from April 19, 2022 show you committed to creating a 5-year plan before that year's budget cycle. On February 7, 2023, you still have yet to present your plan when questioned. It is now nearly 4 years later, and we are still seeing unforeseen last-minute expenses. For instance, most recently, at the November special meeting, these fuel farm expenses absolutely would have not been foreseen had a legitimate long-term plan existed. So I'm asking clearly and directly, where is the multi-year plan that was promised? Does it exist? If so, why has the public not seen it, as it is not anywhere on the town website? Most importantly, I'm asking again, how will the town stabilize the tax rate? How will we build reserves for predictable reoccurring costs? And how will you ensure that future development stops shifting financial pressure onto residents? These are not abstract questions. They go to the core of fiscal responsibility and public trust. Residents deserve direct answers, not deflections, not vague statements, and not claims of obstruction when the records show none. We all want the town to succeed, but success requires transparency, planning, and accountability, not just vision, but a real plan the public can see and evaluate.
Thanks.
And I can submit this for the record. I'll bring it up.
We can-
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
Is there anybody else? No? Okay, so, moving on. Let's see, so we have a resolution for the Stone Hollow subdivision.
And Josh, on that,
Yeah.
the board had discussed it in pretty significant detail earlier tonight. I might suggest waiving the reading on this one rather than going over it again.
Yeah, if the board's okay with that, sure.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to waive the reading?
So moved.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Okay, so, now therefore it be resolved as follows, that the town of Cornwall accepts the said offer of dedication subject to the fulfillment of following conditions by Stone Hollow. A, submission of deeds with full covenant and warranty and the easements being tendered in the offer of dedication in form acceptable to the town attorney. B, proof of recording with the Orange County Clerk by Stone Hollow of the approved deeds and easements being tendered in the offer of dedication. C, issuance of the title insurance to the town on all such deeds and easements in amounts less than $35,000.
Not less than.
Not less $35,000, showing clear title to the same. D, delivery of certified copy of as-built plans for all improvements to the town building department. E, tender of maintenance security in the form acceptable to the town attorney in required amounts. F, certification from the Village of Cornwall on Hudson that the water line dedication, including the outstanding water bill issue, has been resolved. And G, payment of all outstanding fees and costs and other amounts due to owing the town of Cornwall. 2, that acceptance of the said roadway easements and related improvements by the town of Cornwall shall not take effect until such time as all of the said conditions have been met to the satisfaction of the town, and the town superintendent of highways shall have issued an order officially acknowledging acceptance of the roadway. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Two, resolution to conduct a traffic study. Can I get a motion to waive the reading?
So moved,
Second.
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Now therefore be resolved as follows. One, that the town board hereby requests the New York State Department of Transportation to conduct a traffic study regarding the said portion of Route 9W to determine if safety measures such as lowering the speed limit or erecting additional signage would be appropriate. Two, that the town highway superintendent is hereby directed and requested to send a certified copy of this resolution along with the brief explanatory cover letter to the New York State Department of Transportation. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Next, I have a resolution scheduling the 2026 reorganization meeting. Whereas the town board wishes to schedule a date for its reorganization meeting, and now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby schedules the 2026 reorganization meeting for January 13th, 2026 at 7 o'clock p.m. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved,
Second.
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Next, I have a resolution for the Jewish Family Services MOA. Whereas the town of Cornwall has received the memorandum of agreement between the Jewish Family Services and the town of Cornwall Senior Independence Program to outline the responsibilities of each organization, and whereas the town wishes to enter into agreement with JFS, now therefore be resolved as follows. One, that the town board does hereby agree to enter into the above agreement with JFS, a copy which is annexed hereto. And two, that the town board hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute the same and any and all documents necessary to effectuate the terms therein. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Five, let me see, so this is the.
Six.
Just a voice vote.
No, it's five, yeah, this is the additional easements.
Oh, I'm
Oh.
sorry, I'm on the.
Yeah, this is the
No,
additional.
I was just the wrong page,
I read
I
that as
apologize.
well. I did the same thing.
Okay, so, this is the resolution accepting the easements, the additional easements for the Hasbrook Avenue Drainage Project. Whereas the town of Cornwall has undertaken a stormwater drainage improvement project in the area of Hasbrook Avenue, and whereas the course of performance of work on the project, it has become necessary for the town of Cornwall to acquire additional easements for the project, and whereas the following property owners have offered to donate easements for the Hasbrook Avenue Drainage Project over their below listed properties, which are attached to this document here. And whereas the town of Cornwall is willing to accept these gratis dedications of easements as is, now therefore it is hereby resolved as follows. One, that the town board of the town of Cornwall hereby accepts the donation of the said easements, and two, that the town supervisor is authorized to sign the same and any and all documents necessary for recording them and carrying out the terms of this resolution. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Six, I'm just acknowledging, this memo for the public record that the clerk's office will be taking over administration and collection of the hotel room and short-term occupancy tax. Seven, this is just a, motion to authorize the town board officers and staff to attend the annual Association of Towns Conference and to pay for the expenses associated with that, for the conference taking place on, President's Day weekend.
So moved.
Oh, second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Okay. Next I have, this is the short-term rental permits and registration fee adjustments. Can I get a motion to waive the reading of the resolution.
So moved.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Rice?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Okay, now therefore be resolved as follows. One, that the town board hereby amends the town schedule of fees in regard to short-term rentals to delete the permit and registration fee of $100 and the renewal fee of $25. And two, that the town board hereby amends the town schedule of fees in regard to short-term rentals to add a registration fee of $250 and a permit fee of $150. And three, that this resolution and the said changes to the town's schedule of fees shall take effect immediately. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Rice?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Nine towing applications. If I could get a motion to approve we're doing all of these, Joe, right? Just the ones that requirements are met? Or do you want all,
I believe the clerk's office wanted all approved, and
the ones that are subject to facility inspection?
under the condition that they're.
Yeah, okay.
There's just a timing issue.
They
right?
would be approved pending compliance with the facility inspection.
Correct.
Okay, so if I could get a motion to approve all six of the,
Five.
of the,
There's 5 of them.
I'm sorry, five, all five, yeah, I can't count tonight. All five of the companies on the 2026 tow list, as long as the requirements are met.
Well, with Econo,
Yeah.
Scott Hecht, and Econo Holly
Yeah.
Hunter, pending
Yeah, sorry,
compliance
so,
with the
so as long as
facility.
requirements are met
For those.
and, once the other two, the Econo Scott Hecht and the Econo Holly Hunter, once their facility inspections are complete.
So moved.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Rice?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes, okay. Next we've got this, the OC Tourism Grant sub-grant applications. So can I get a motion we've already approved the Historical Society, so this would just be to authorize the Cornwall Highlands Arts Alliance to receive $960, the Independence Day Committee to receive $1,000, and for the Chamber of Commerce to receive the amount remaining, which is $2,039.
Can I just ask
Yeah.
a question? I'm sorry, I know I should have asked this before. The Cornwall on Hudson Special Events Committee,
Yes,
I realize that they originate out of the village, but aren't they the organization that's doing the work on the ice house? And isn't that the same group of people that has been contributing substantially to the
these were for
town?
specific, so the way this worked is they had to submit, they never submitted anything for the Ice House or for, these are specifically tied to events that I have to go back now and report to the county and do a report to the tourism on what, so these all things happened in the past, so they've already submitted what they wanted for, and so the stuff that,
Just like for the Color Bash run that would
no,
happen
I
in
don't
the
believe they
village?
submitted for
I
Color
don't
Bash,
see
but I
their
mean, here's the thing though, so
application.
the village gets their own tourism grant from the county.
No, I understand,
Yeah.
just want, can I just,
Yeah.
can you give me just a second?
So is there an actual accounting, so I know that the Historical Society had to provide receipts. So the chamber would also have
They
to,
have, yeah.
no, receipts of the things that
Yeah,
they've done.
so what they'll give is, they'll give an invoice with a copy that showed that it was paid and that we're reimbursing.
I understand,
the
okay.
payment. So the
All
same
right.
thing that the library did,
Okay,
right? So we did that for the library.
okay, thanks
Um,
for clarifying. All right, so then the Arts Alliance, they asked for it,
Yeah, they had
And
specific events that they.
did they give us any receipts? I thought she did.
So basically, they've turned them over to Megan and to Pam.
Okay.
And we can't, I mean, we're gonna pay out up to what the amount of the approval is for. So in some cases, they submitted more,
Oh,
but again, we can't, COH is special events, they just asked for a blanket 5,000 to go towards the color run and these other
Yeah,
things.
so I'm looking at their application, and I agree with you, Josh, that there's nothing specific for the town. It just says, if they receive the grant, it will be used to support broad-based marketing and advertising efforts to create awareness around who we are and what we do, as well as to promote our events. These funds will allow us to invest in digital and print advertising, enhance our digital footprint, and build a new website to better connect with the community. Currently, our marketing efforts are volunteer-run and supported by a donor. This grant will provide the resources needed to expand our reach, strengthen community engagement, and drive more participation in our events. So I would just say it would be, I know that this committee does work in the town, and I look forward to an application next year, should we receive the same grant, that details the kind of events they're doing in the town and how we can support those events that are occurring in the town, so it's directly connected, so.
I do believe one thing
Did
that I
the
did find
mayor
out recently
the village
is
board-
that COH special events, my understanding, is no longer going to exist. There's gonna be kind of like a split that I've heard.
Yeah, I heard as
So it's gonna
well.
become Storm King events, and then I believe the youth committees, so that I don't think it's gonna exist anymore.
All right, well, so for
So-
anyone applying, make
Yes,
sure
so-
they connect it to
But
town.
but the
events,
village,
so-
but the
Yeah.
village also gets 5,000.
Yes, they get,
So I'm
yes.
just gonna call mayor, maybe they already gave them something.
Yeah.
They may have, but
They
based on
may.
this application, I don't see a town.
Well, that's a town application, so.
Yeah, but I do know that it could be that what we all know is true is that the same, 50 people do all the volunteer work
Yeah.
around here, so they may be working in different places under different committee names, because I know we set up the rec committee for the ice house and that kind of thing, so. But just, if you're gonna apply for this, make it a detailed application so we know the connection and can grant it
Right, right.
accordingly.
Well, I know the
Yeah.
supervisor actually met with and I met with the historical society, and they had to
I
actually,
remember that.
they
yeah.
had to flesh out what they wanted, so that's what,
Right,
I
and they
think
got the
any-
award fast, so that early.
because they did the work.
Absolutely.
So did we ever, okay, so
So
then,
we were gonna give the 960 to the Arts Alliance, 1,000 to the July 4th Committee or Independence Day Committee, and
Which-
2039 collectively
to the chamber.
for Upstate Art Week and Annual Car Show and Fall Festival to the Chamber.
Yes, can I get a motion to,
So moved.
I mean, where else are we gonna,
I'm looking, just.
yeah, no, I was just, I mean, we don't,
All right, second, but as long as they're also giving receipts of what they're spending it
Yeah,
on.
this just approves them up to.
Oh,
They
geez,
they would
yeah.
have to prove that.
What, you know Pam, you think Pam's gonna cut them a check unless she sees the receipt?
Huh.
Right, Tom?
Mhm, okay,
Ms. Scott?
yes,
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Number 11, okay, here we are on the drainage project. So first we've gotta do, if I could get a motion to approve change order number 9.
So moved.
second,
Ms. Scott?
yes,
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Next, I've got change order number 10. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second,
Ms. Scott?
yes,
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Finally, I have a motion to approve payment application number 9.
So moved.
second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes.
It's a lot of money.
All right, next I have a motion to approve the dedication of the menorah and the nativity set for the town of Cornwall.
So moved. With our thanks.
Hmm?
With our thanks for the donations.
Second, I would have, but again, I'm going to say, I wish there was a little bit more communication before everything's on there and we're voting on it. But in the spirit, I will. Yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
No.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes.
Bench.
Next we have, can I get a motion to promote Officer Butner to the position of detective effective January 1st, 2026?
So moved with my congratulations.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Then I have the highway department changes. Can I get a motion to approve the 2 transfers and 1 new hire in the highway department?
So moved.
Second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Okay, actually, we gotta do this first here. Are we ready with the resolution?
I think we've discussed it enough, unless the board
Which
wants
one?
to hear, the heating system, emergency resolution.
You can waive it.
And you don't have to, anything with because it's an emergency, you don't have to get multiple bids, correct?
Right.
If you do it on an emergency basis, that's true.
All right,
And
thank
that's
you
what
for
this
the
resolution
clarification.
says.
Okay,
Can I get a motion to waive the reading of the resolution?
so moved.
Second.
Ms. Scott?
Yes,
Ms. Edelman Rice?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Now therefore be resolved as follows. One, that the town board hereby finds that the unforeseen catastrophic failure of the town hall steam boiler in the midst of winter constitutes an emergency situation, allowing the town to forego competitive bidding on contracts for replacement machinery pursuant to General Municipal Law subsection 103. Two, that the town board hereby approves the aforesaid proposal for purchase and installation of the mini-split HVAC units and related work in Town Hall. Three, that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to sign any and all documentation necessary to complete the purchase of the replacement machinery under the said agreement. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Rice?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Okay, so, all right, so I don't have to, we've approved that. Let's see, what else do I got here?
Warrant,
Yep, warrant number, sorry, a motion to approve warrant number 12.
So moved.
second,
Ms. Scott?
yes.
Ms. Edelman Rice?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
Yes. Okay, I guess committee reports, does anybody have committee reports, or do you wanna waive the committees?
I can waive them, I just, that the planning board and the ZBA did not meet, and they're not meeting in December. And the building department is hard at work as usual.
Okay? Do you have anything?
Just wanna let you know, the board approved the bus to take the seniors to West Point. Holiday concert, we had over 44 seniors that went. We had lunch at Delicia's in Highland Falls before we entered. And I will tell you, everyone had a very wonderful time. I thank the board for renewing the agreement with the Friendly Visitor Program. I can tell you at least once a week, I have a caretaker, a daughter or son, trying to find help for their parents. And I have to say, I think it's an invaluable service, and it's been worth every cent, and this is something I think government should do. And the last thing, I wanna thank the public. It's not a committee thing, but today, for some reason, I ran into a number of residents, and it felt good, you know. When you first enter and you go into office, I think one of my goals was to be able to look people in the eyes and tell them the truth and do the right thing, and I'm very proud of that. And I'm proud of some of the gifts I received. I was told to open this one here, so if you don't mind. So a couple people got together. Oh, I don't know. Obstructionist. I don't know what it's all about. Oh. Okay. I wasn't there for the comments, so I have no idea, but thank you. I'll have to thank them for the gift. I had no idea what this is about until tonight.
That t-shirt is not from me, by the way.
Oh my goodness, well, thank you. But thank you, residents, I look forward to doing more for you on the county and assisting our departments if there's something I can do. And it's been a very proud 6 years. Believe it or not, it has been. What I'd like to do before I stop talking, we also have the retirement's the last day, and I have to say, it's just a token of appreciation from the town board to Mr. Gava for your years of dedication
Thank you so much.
and service. Have that for you. But I know I can say you've always been a guiding force for me, and I love, you know, having our conversations, and I wish you so much happiness in your retirement, and safe travels, and again, I know, the town appreciates everything that you've done for us. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It's been an honor representing the town. Cornwall's a very special place, and I'll certainly miss all these conversations that we have over the
I
town
know.
board meetings. But I can tune in on television. I'll see you
Yes,
next week.
that's right. From the comfort of your couch.
The meeting is over, I would just like to bring this up to Jen so she can enter it into the minutes.
Okay. I'm sorry, Josh, if you have any
Make a matter of
reports.
record.
We'll say we're not.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I really hope the next board does continue to support the Sands Ring trustees. I know a lot of them are, you could say, getting up in age, but they've given decades of service, and I hope we continue to honor the history of our community. I know I'll be watching, and I'll probably be out there, so, thank you.
Thank you for your service.
No, thank you, Karen, and I wish you well. I'm
And
sure
you.
you'll do a
I'm
great.
sure we'll see each other at the
Yeah, we'll
government
run
center.
into each other. That's right. No, I won't say it. No. Karen, what do you need? You need a new gavel? Oh, well, I don't know.
Yeah, well, do you get a gavel too?
No, no new gavel.
We could get you one anyway.
Do we get to take the nameplate?
I don't know.
Yes.
Thank you,
Are
Jen.
you entertained? Oh, wow, that's a parting gift,
Oh,
like
parting
our
That's
Price
your
is Right.
parting gift.
You can have your nameplate.
Huh?
Yeah.
Just leave
Steve,
the
yours
trash.
is still stuck on with tape, but you're welcome to
Yeah.
take it.
Easy enough.
I'll
It says
get
Jim
one.
Bob underneath.
I don't know, you should, well, unless we're gonna like,
That's worth money, Steve. You can probably
That's
get
right,
that.
Steve.
That's
That's an
Probably is.
oldie. That's an oldie. You
Take
should,
that to
you
the
should
scrapyard
definitely
and
keep
get a
it.
couple bucks.
all right, well, hopefully the last meeting of the year. Don't wanna jinx it, but, you know, it's been a pleasure. Coming in now to my third term, looking forward to it next year. Want to thank, you know, again, the voters, you know, for a third time for returning me as town supervisor. It's been an honor to do this, you know, again, for the past 6 years. Looking forward to what 2026 has in store. I think it's gonna be, you know, great for the town of Cornwall. Lots of great things happening. You know, I definitely want to thank, you know, Virginia's been here, you know, for the past 6 years. We kind of came on together. You know, I think we've gotten a lot done. Haven't always agreed on everything, but we've gotten stuff done for the residents together, so I think
97% agreement. I just
Yeah.
want you to know.
That's
And
pretty good.
I
And
just
so-
want the
and
numbers,
so,
so when people say
Mhm.
97%.
Karen, you've been here 2 years, but, you know, we always knew that you were gonna be going to the county as a judge, so, you know,
I didn't know that.
You know what, I think we knew that, you know, this was just but we're very proud of you and, you know, you're gonna do a great job in Goshen, so.
Thank you. It's been an honor to be here,
It
to
is.
be chosen by the voters and then
Yeah,
to
this is-
be a person who's entrusted with the management of the town and to see the road forward for the progress that we made just in the last 2 years. I mean, the fact that we closed the NEMA public hearing today, I felt like was a huge
Oh my
win,
God.
and I'm very excited for their future. But that's just one small victory. We've done a lot of work as a board. And I hope the people of the town understand how much work it is to fulfill this role and to do it well, and how dedicated the people that you elect are actually to you. They really love the town, they love you, they want the best for the town, and I think that's just such an amazing testament to their public service. And I've been in public service most of my life, and I'm very fortunate to have worked with each and every one of you. This has been a really wonderful experience. And that you guys have people who look out for you that live here. They work here, they live here. That's not common, and Cornwall is not a common place. It is delightfully uncommon, and that's why we love it. So thanks for letting me be part of it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So I hate to do this, should I write just like a minor brief update, you think?
I think you really need it, I mean.
No, all right, I mean, I think everyone kind of knows what's going on,
Yeah, I
so.
think so.
Okay, so then, unless there's public comment, I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
So moved.
Thank
Ms.
you,
Scott?
yes,
Ms. Edelman Reyes?
Yes.
Mr. Wojciechowski?
thank you for all of you. It's great to be. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you, everyone.